Well, hello there, woodchucks and dolls and key kittens. Well, gee, that 1997 cassette tape from the 40-minute video you just heard that I closed it out with a Funhouse Yoga ending to a theme song that was about a 3-hour song, but it really was a 3-hour. Little baby doves were walking through the park one day and they were in love. Little baby elves were neutralizing sulfate in the clouds, they turned from plumes into clouds. Little baby elves were busy running all around to get more help. And they're running by the hour, but we're going in love. Little baby elves, little baby elves, little baby elves were crying in the park. Little baby elves. That cassette inspired me now. I can write a song off the top of my head with a drum, with a flute, or with anything that you believe. Little baby elves were crying in the dark because the way that Jenny feels. Little baby elves changed the way they feel when they were walking in the park with you in the dark, and when they walk up through the fog. Little baby elves, little baby elves were walking through the crying in the dark. Little baby elves were crying in the snow because they had nowhere to park in the dark. They were dark, and in the dark they thought they were. Little baby elves, little baby elves, little baby elves, little baby elves, little baby elves. Here's another song I wrote that I don't think I've ever recorded, or maybe I have, I'm not quite sure. Mean old man. This intro, I'll make it up now. Mean old man, how did you turn into a mean old man? And I cannot believe that one day you were young. You were strong, you had everything, and life was wrong. Now you're old, got everything shoved into pigeonholes. You're finding it so hard to see past it. When you were young, come on baby, you were baby, yeah you were young. I wanna make you feel young again, but when you're sitting there waiting to die, I wanna make you feel young and fun, but when you're sitting there just waiting to die. Come on baby, you oldies baby, come on with me. Mean old man, abbreviated version outro. Mean old man, this is the abbreviated outro. Mean old man, this is the abbreviated outro. Here's another one that I wrote a couple years ago that I don't have a lyric to, I don't think, and I have never recorded. I never wrote no words to this piece. That's too bad, its melody is so damn good. What do you think that the world should be? The melancholy in this part here. Could you hear the melancholy heart here? Ooh, 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 how, why, and when. Who, what, why, where, when, how did it happen? Alright, the reason I hit record because I had some more stuff I was working on. Even another song, man, when the dam bursts, when my inspiration comes in waves, it just comes in torrents. I've had kind of pretty much a major writer's block. Not really bugged about it because the inspirational fit from way back in 2005 was so epic that it created all my classics, 4 albums worth of shit, like fucking up the ante, as it were. My inspiration comes in waves, and this last one, I was starting to wonder, like, okay, closed up around 2006, and just now, like, I mean, since I got home, it's one idea after the next, like, like when I was a trippin' 24-year-old. I was in a cornfield off of Attridge Road, you know, when the hill goes up and curves around. Like, I'm in a cornfield in like the fall of 1996. Trippin' balls, fucking in the cornfield, like that to me, peeking out, man, that autumnal fall, like fucking fall and leaves getting colder in a corn fucking field, tripping fool. This was like a revelation, man. Like a mathematical, like, equation of deepness during my peak, man. I think I was searching for some kind of vocal, and I was like, hello? Uh-oh, fucking computer's gonna... That's how inspired it seems that the dam has burst on my writer's block. And I could write 10 albums tonight, man, right off the top of my head. And with reservation, expecting the worst, hoping for the best. It could just be a false, like, fucking explosion of creativity. But it would be rad, because the last time it exploded open was in, like, it was on Christmas night of 2004, of all things. I think my cousin Pat was dropping me off. We went back to the River Street basement. And then, like, freaking, I think it was my first Christmas night, like, tripping on prescription Adderall, which really helped me that day. Talked to my grandmother for the first time. You see, until I found Adderall, like, I was really shy, introverted, didn't really know how to talk. Not that I do now, man. Fucking literally talked to my grandma, like, as an adult conversationalist for the first time on Christmas Day 2004 when I was introduced to prescription Adderall. And it was amazing, man. Like, fucking made her laugh as we were eating Doritos. And I'm like, Grandma, man, you ever eat a whole bag of Doritos and then you got Dorito burps? Like, for an hour after, and she laughed like she knew exactly what I was talking about. She did. Anyhow, that night, like, I'm down in the basement with Cousin Pat. He leaves after making him laugh his ass off, telling the story about Dale. And the one time at Meadowbrook Farms, he, like, sat in his van wasted, like, idling the van, like, after starting it up, like, for, like, 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, as us boys were glued to the window, just put it in reverse, and, like, there's only this much space between that lane of parking cars and that fucking row. He's like, peels off, comes back like 20 minutes later with a broken leg, and he walked from the site to my dad's door. I was scared shitless, man. Fucking eventually went in to reconnoiter the woman by peeing on the threshold of the door before my dad woke up like that. And he's like, "Girl!" Snapped into it. It's all good. Anyhow, like, I told Cousin Pat that on Christmas night in the car, and it was just like, I never heard Cousin Pat laugh like that. It was like, 4 on the floor, uncontrollable. Just stand back and relax, because we're going to be, like, laughing full, like, go for solid rocket booster ignition. Anyhow, like, fucking, we hung out, like, fucking, and I wrote my first song after having, like, writer's block that night after we went home, because I had used the rest of the prescription Adderall that I was just introduced to, because it makes porno look fucking almost irresistible that night. So I'm just sitting there, and since the 3rd grade, upon waking and all day, most of the times, I hear, like, just melodies that permutate slowly, like, I'll wake up hearing something like, you know what I'm saying? So anyhow, I'm, like, hearing this melody while I'm, like, using the rest of my porno pills. Hello? Hello? Huh. Tom Crane called. He must be out on the town. Anyhow, I'm like, just going through my head that shit. Stuff that goes through my head all the time from 3rd grade all day for years and decades. Like, on that particular night, looking at some stuff, and, like, the fucking melody just going through my head. So, like, I'm sitting there doing a lot of things through the head, and I'm, like, thinking about when you throw your pearls to the swine, and I'm, like, associating my porno, like, indulgence as the swine, and the Adderall that night as the pearls. So I'm like, when you throw your pearls to the swine, when you do it like that. And I was like, okay. Eventually, it sounded interesting enough, because I could hear this certain minor chord, like, when you throw your pearls to the swine, when, right around the when, in my mind, I could hear a minor chord that would go to move up 1/2 step into a major chord. So anyhow, I'll show you what I mean in a second, and this will explain how the last writer's block broke. And I wrote 3 songs that night. When it breaks, like an album the next day, an album the day or the week after, throughout the rest of the year, like my best melodies ever. Like, and they're like, when I say best ever, I mean like personally. I mean also like if this dude in caveman times, like everyone else, was doodling in fucking dog shit on the cave walls with like fucking the extra hair from some fucking animal they killed as the brush of fat bitches. And like, when I say fat bitches, I mean earth goddesses. And I have no weight like issues. Like, if you are fat and I think you're hot, like, anyhow, meant no insult to fat people or thinically challenged. Anyhow, like, but in cave times, there would be bountiful looking, rotund women idealized on the cave art, along with like depictions of the hunt. Some like couple times, like what looks to be a dude dressed up with the head of an owl, like the shaman, whatever. If all my songs before that, and I guess like lots of them, run of the mill ones, are like the that kind of cave art, like the songs I came up with that year, 2005, after that breaking open of the writer's blockage, were like if the cave dude started drawing geometrical shapes that whose mathematical algebraic like equations and just the proportions of geometric, like, it's hard to say because of Descartes, and he started this whole thing. Cogito ergo sum turned into like fucking Spinoza coming up with like fucking maxims by which he would geometrically like construct. And actually, I think I got the word wrong. Baruch, the lens grinder dude. Spinoza, who's basically responsible for the offshoot of Descartes' cogito, pantheism, the idea that the whole universe is God. And then it led into like fucking Leibniz with the one philosophical concept that I still do not understand: monads. What the fuck does he mean? He's like talking about atoms, but like I just don't get like the correspondence or what the fuck within Leibniz's philosophy, monadology. If anyone is hearing this and knows how to explain to me, and I pretty much understand anything, like even like fucking the theory of relativity, the equations and the mathematics, I don't understand, but I understand that it means something. Like the monad as a concept by Leibniz, I just cannot under fucking stand, man. What does he mean by the monad within the context of his fucking philosophy? Anyhow, as I go off into tangents, the best way for me to keep this on a discernible track leading up to me performing that song and then like wrapping it up with an explanation of like why tonight it seems like fucking that writer's block that has been shut off since 2006, maybe it popped open again today. Anyhow, Descartes caused not only Leibniz and his fucking monads, but also uh, the fucking Bishop Berkeley. California's Berkeley is named after George Berkeley. I always thought it was Barkley, but like, don't go fucking about it, because like fucking I taught myself all this shit, man. You think you went to school to get a degree and that makes you intelligently smart as you prance around big titted Bobby Joe Tinson, like, I got a bachelor's degree in this, I got a master's degree in this, I got my doctorate, I got... That's all good and fine, and most of you are good, but a lot of you just went because of the intent for the fucking end result. Whether it be a high paying, because it was the thing, the career, the field of study that would, you were most vaguely interested in that was also of a certain economic level, which is all good and fine, but you didn't like. And I'm making a broad generalization, but lots of people had no care for the field that they went into and studied and passed well. Some people got into fields of collegiate study in order to get a degree and make the money and live some kind of prestige level. You see it all the time some places. On the music scene, most notably, with like pretty people that have no musical talent and yet want to be stars. That shit is clogged to the brim to the point where people like me, uh, bona fide musical wonder kinds, never see the light of day because we're like the introverted dudes that, like, with our heads in the cloud. And then you gotta go into a dog dying, and we're gonna kill your puppies and not bring them back to life. Freaking dog shit machines, Caracas, Lake Titicaca, Wienerberg, Penisville. Watch out for that pecker in Failure City wide, open tonight. Failure City wide is coming to life. Failure City light, Failure City lights are coming to sight. Failure City lights are coming to sight. The neon funeral fire light fight. The funeral lights of the neon pyre desire. Neon desire light fight in the pyre. Fire night of the light in the neon funeral. Fucking. And then it led to fucking Descartes' cogito ergo sum, which opened up modern philosophy, opened up epistemology. John Locke, thank God he was like right after that, came up with the ideas that basically form our idea of like liberty. Even though right around the same time the tribe of the Confederacy of the Six Nations came up with the Iroquois Constitution, which what court do we got to bring it to establish whether or not the Iroquois Constitution, which preceded all the constitutions, at what point it became like non-binding? I mean, you have to ask the people that came over here looking for India, but landed here instead because they didn't know it was here, and then like subjugated and decimated, raped, murdered, exploited the natives of the New World, the slave trade, whatever. We're not them, we're their ancestors, but we live in the land of the free, the United States of America. And lots of other people have other ideas about what it is and what it's gonna be, but they're fucking very mistaken. Anyhow, like, I took an oath to the Constitution to defend it against foreign enemies and domestic enemies with all of my abilities and with my life. Which is why I've been flipping out lately, people, because there's certain things that just have crossed the line, and no, it's not going to continue. And you know what? First, we gotta establish, we don't have to, like, the Constitution is going to be defended. And there's going to be a document, and I hope somebody out there hears this and helps me make it. It's on my notes at Facebook, the American Declaration of Casus Belli. Casus Belli is Latin for reasons why a war would be necessary. Now, kind of like the grievances that Thomas Jefferson wrote about in the Declaration of Independence. Because of this reason, it's because of this reason, it's because of this reason that we are cutting our ties with the King of Britain and establishing ourselves as the United States of America. John Hancock's signatures on it. Now, for instance, like, all the things that violate any of the Bill of Rights or any of the provisions in the Constitution. And before I forget it, one of the things might be gold being the only. I heard something the other day and I don't want to forget it, so I'm saying it now. It's in the Constitution that like our finances or something should be going to be based on gold, and then it comes to my memory that I guess in 1932 or 33, Franklin Delano Roosevelt took some shit off the gold standard or something, and if that's a constitutional like violation, it's going to be fixed. And the Executive Order 11,000 that like the government in an emergency can mobilize civilians into work brigades under their supervision. No, that's not gonna fly with me, definitely. I'll have to call into work, first of all. Sorry, I can't go into work, there's an emergency, and I know I work in an emergency room, boss, but I've been mobilized against my will by the government into a work brigade. Sorry, that's not going to happen. Don't even try to come to my house and tell me that I am under your fucking jurisdiction and authority, because you have no authority. Anyone in the United States of America, knowing the heritage, knowing the concepts, knowing that they're a part of the United States of America, and knowing the Constitution, or knowing of the Constitution, who would have the audacity or the obliviousness, or both, to actually think that you could make an executive order that says that you can usurp my inalienable right. And inalienable means that it was never given by you or your predecessor, human being, actual flesh and blood, legislator or elected official. It was never given to me or given to you. It's naturally ours by natural universal law, by whatever you think the creator is, in the nature of the universe. Beings, individual beings, like it's an automatic nature to survive and keep going, which is what led to we are endowed with our creator by certain unalienable rights. And unalienable means that you didn't give it to us. It's the nature of the universe by which all beings seek to survive and possibly thrive. Have certain inalienable rights. Among these are the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, in order for you to understand me better, it would be best for me to wrap this video up within the next 10 minutes so that I could have my second 40-minute video that's almost on track, but not quite. 'Cause a lightsaber poked me in the eye. I was shoving an unlit lightsaber up Yoda's butt when all of a sudden it turned on. Oh no. I stuck a unlit lightsaber up C-3PO's fanny butt. But then it fucking turned on, man. I stuck a freaking unlit lightsaber in Chewbacca's butt. But then it lit and freaking, man, was I screwed. I stick an unlit lightsaber up the devil's butt. He said, man, that was bad, but I can do worse than you. So I said, you got yourself a bet, you son of a bitch. I'm the best of the worst. I'm best at the worst of the best, worst best that's ever been. So I was like, fluffy, thin, soft, and then Schmelton the devil tried to top me, doing something even dumber than that. Like, but I was like, fucking like I was into NASCAR, but then my horse died, and that was like it. The devil laid that fucking golden word stupid at my feet. And I was like, devil, you better run for your fucking life, man. I mean, it's not like you're gonna get out of that fucking already in the process of being unlocked. Trick box universe of like fucking way out in the middle of beyond the beyond, and then times 8 as far out beyond like the super central universe and this huge orbiting universe and maybe a couple far out orbiting universes times 108 octillion times farther than our universe from the central super universe is an interlocking trick box universe of like fucking 300 and 2500 trillion times the amount of both created and original super universes. Like the amount of super unbeginning heaven nucleus universes that ours is orbiting around, maybe fucking quadrillions of other universes, and who knows how many. Multiply that times 3 trillion, and that's how many completely empty, with nothing in them, trick universes all interlocked. The trick box super universes, the bottomless pit that you're gonna be dropped in an immobile fucking position, not in any motion. Like smart fucking fallen angel, like schizophrenic on an angelic level, that to mere mortals with flesh and blood facing death and uncertainty would picture as godlike fucking magic. But it's a schizophrenia nonetheless. Fucking, but I mean, that angelic schizophrenia to us is like beyond, man. There's billion years of human evolution with artificial intelligence helping us out. We'll still never be as like fucking 1 million brained as the likes of you. So, I mean, just to say you're a smart fella, oh, little girl. But when you're put into the fucking trick box universe, like completely immobile in empty space, there's nothing in any of the universes, and you're not even moving. You're a smart guy, but like it's gonna, I mean, take you a fucking minute. It's gonna take you a minute. You hot mess. Fucking green igloo, insult to feces. Like, why don't you just give up the fight instead of slash and burn? You know, I mean, you're so smart, you must know you've already lost and fucking that you're gonna lose. Like, why succumb to the rage that fuels the fucking, like, homicidal, irrational insanity? No. War, murder, for no reason. Slash and burn into the fucking Return of Christ. Rah, rah, rah. Anyhow, after all that's done, I mean, you could give up right now and say, duh, I know I'm done. I don't want to go in this trick box universe of fucking 380, 100,000 trillion, octillion universes that are weaved together in a way that fucking even the dodecahedron, billions of self-contained orbiting planets of geometric perfection on the arrival shores of the super universe, fucking, and how they clear up at perfect moments, and like people arrive at perfect moments, and like just as a human ascending and fucking being reconstructed in an outer mid-sized city, like just past the downtown area, on the arrival perimeter of like the paradise super universe, in a fucking stadium that could hold fucking 8 billion people. Like, it's really it's a resurrection stadium. You wake up with fucking flesh again. You're like, the person who loved you the most, that made it there first before you, is like sitting there. And the wizards of heaven that figured out how to make the personality and the soul survive and actually, like, eternities from now, like, remanifest it in some kind of spirit moda matter that fucking never decays, fucking also knows that, like, the shock of, like, waking up and realizing somehow that, like, fucking in this big fucking universe, Einstein fucking did some good work, but, like, fucking these people, whatever they are, go even way back unto you can't imagine. So, like, fucking when you wake up on the outskirts of a mid-sized big city that is on the perimeter of the super universe of paradise in a super resurrection stadium. And the people that figured all that out, and they've just kind of the goings on in paradise, like they announce at the concert between songs, maybe like, alright, that was a song called Lola. For all you people from the 4,100 billion created universes who are just arriving, welcome to the original super universe with no beginning. That song was some Earth music, a planet from a particular section of time in universe number 3821-12966. And from a particular planet in one of the galaxies of its many galaxies, and from a specific period in that planet's time. Yeah, we see some people like over here. Of course, we know they're from the 60s. You're welcome to heaven, all. We're going to play a song now from the three-headed purple beings that are coming in from universe number 7 of hearts. It's called I Want to Rip Your Fucking Eyes Out. In the 2 of spades. At this point, I can't even remember like how to get back to the explanation of the story of how my fucking like inspiration broke back into being on Christmas night, fucking on River Street in the basement in 2004. Oh yeah, I was like fucking. I heard that minor chord, and there's certain songs when you hear that minor chord and then it goes up a half step to a major chord. You hear it in Time After Time from Cyndi Lauper. That's the minor chord that leads up one half step to the major. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Get the guitar, Gary. Get the guitar, Daddy. Don't make it like the others. Unit 3776 all the way. Don't cry, ladies. Come on, girls. I know if you check the video out that we did the other night, girls, we did read from 776. Okay? I did talk long, but this time I won't, because I've already cut off circulation talking so long while crouched down on my right foot, little girls. Alright? Alright? But just answer me one question, daughters. No, Daddy, come on! You don't say that. Would you rather poop on your anus or pee on Uranus? Oh, wait, no. You got it wrong. Yeah, would you rather pee on Uranus or poop on Uranus? Alright. Keeping this video going so that it ties with the last video I just did for time length. My first two 4-day long videos killed everybody, man. They didn't know how they should take the situation. Some weirdos watched the whole thing, but most people didn't watch anything. But I want your soul, yeah, I want your soul, till you're anyhow, so that Christmas night, I'm like, while looking at like fucking military homo tube, because the Adderall like really fucking. And after a while, I'm like associating this lyric, when you throw your pearls to the swine. I explained it already. And that I could hear a minor chord, when you do it like that. It has that melancholy sound, and like analyzing my like tastes in music, even back to childhood, were quite surprising and revealing to me, because like most of the songs that I really liked had that usage of a minor chord in just the right place, like the song One by Metallica. After this, hold on, we're getting there. After this, that chord they use. What's another one? Guess I'm doing fine. Like, guess I'm doing fine. That usage of the minor chord right there. Guess I'm doing fine. So I could, whenever I hear a minor chord, I'm thinking fucking top shelf. So as I'm like trying to continue stroking off to some like nakedness under the influence of wasted prescription amphetamine, dextroamphetamine sulfate, there's this melody, and melodies go in my head for hours. And this one I kind of liked as soon as I could hear in my imagination, imagining this one part of the melody having a minor chord under it. So like I went for the guitar, I'm like, when you throw your pearls to the swine, when you do it like that. I was like, whoa. When you throw your pearls to the swine, when you do it like that. Went to G the next time, then did the thing again. And then I was like, what should I do for like a freaking chorus? And the first thing that popped in my head for a lyric, I was still kind of like drunk on Automatic fucking Family Love, which is the dearest thing to me in this world. And I'm like, when you throw your pearls to the swine, when you do it like that. I'm like, you need something new right now? Oh my God, I feel this love for my family. I was like, that was it. That blew the door of writer's block wide open. And oh my God, I feel like it's right for the first time. And then this was like, wow. When we feel it like that, we can do it like that. Feel it like that. Do it like that. And when we feel like that, we can do it. And that was it. For the whole rest of the year, it was automatic. Like fucking every time I picked the thing up, like fucking something would come out. Like green turned to yellow's red in the time of the beginning. One time he shaved his head, but it sent his driver in a tailspin. Red turned to yellow, green, and racing with the wise guy. deadly kill, turning a curve on all our one night. Oh, why did you have to rev your engines all the way? And if your consciousness would go home, if on that day you woke up 7 minutes late, stuff like that all year, like even better than that, like I can't deny that my life is broken, but you're so beautiful, and I might never change. Just the melody, it's complex. If you know anything about chords and melodies, check it out. Well, can I say that I ain't already spoken? I find it hard sometimes being face to face with you, 'cause I wanted you so, but I can never have you. I guess that's okay with me, as long as we can be friends. I had a dream of my baby boy. 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 Who goes there? Oh well, it's like, wow, this is even longer than the last video. And that's actually why I turned the camera on originally, was to capture this one riff idea. And now it's a fucking 40-minute video and a 50-minute video. But we did pull out the 7 of hearts. We pulled out the 7 of hearts. We were in a rush to get where we're going. We pulled out the 7 of hearts, but not knowing where we're going. Laser tips in the night. Double the ladies and taser the face of the tunes. Double the ladies and taser and terrorist tasing the tunes tonight. Laser tits in the night. Laser tits in the night. Laser tits doing battle with the putty knives, singing shanties in the toy boat. 'cause it crashed in the okie fucking Fanoki fucking dooba they do. So womp, man, I sure am crazy. Crazy as a crazy dog. So get your wiener off my shoulder, big bird, or else I'll call the cops on you and say, look, man, this fucking dude has got his wiener on my shoulder. Wiener on my shoulder. Wiener on my shoulder. On my shoulder. On my shoulder. This is like an ultra. This is meant to sound like a graveyard.